welcome back. This time, welcome back to card cleaning hell. Yes, I still got to clean these Dolby cards. Obviously, I put this off till the end for a couple of reasons. One, you don't need the Dolby cards to make the machine work. And number two, you got to disassemble the cards. Yeah, it's just screws, but you got to disassemble them, and that takes a little more time, and it's annoying to do. But in any case, I'm not going to make you watch them all, but I'll show you in sort of real time cleaning of one card, and I'll be back with you months later once I get all 24 cards cleaned. All right, let's take a look at cleaning the Dolby SR cards. All right, so the first thing we got to do is remove these screws right here. Let me get the bigger screwdriver. I'm going to remove the 4 screws. It allows us to take this cover off. And I don't know if you could see before I even removed the cover how much debris is inside of this thing. All right, so cover slides a little bit this direction, and there we go. Lots of shit in there. Let's set that aside for a second. And the next thing we need to do is split the 2 circuit boards. So that's going to require a different screwdriver here. All right, I'll take off these special screws. Now, with that off, we can unplug this. It's plugged in on this end. So we'll just pry the board a little bit there. And voila. Dirt. Lots of dirt. Okay, I'm going to take this out to my garage and blow it out with compressed air from my compressor, and I'll be back after I've done that. Okay. There is one more thing I forgot, is basically flipping this board, the bottom board over, and removing these 4 screws, just in case there's something caught underneath this shield on this side. So we're just gonna do this like this. Right. Now that cover comes off. Yeah, it's not too bad there. There's a bit of rust going on here. By this regulator. I might try to clean that up a little bit and clean some of this stuff right now before putting this back together, because it is a little rusty right there. Okay, I'll be back with you in a second. Okay, so I did remove the screw and pulled out this heatsink just so I can clean some of this rust. As you can see here, there's quite a bit of rust on it. They're not actually using any heatsink compound, so there's no worry about that, but I did want to clean some of this rust out here in case it gets down on a track or something. I'm just going to bend that up and clean under it. Clean this side here of the circuit board so they are clean. And this is the LM317, so it's just a regulator, adjustable regulator. I believe 317 is the positive, 337 is the negative. So this is a positive regulator. Again, remember, on these Dolby cards, we have no schematics, so we don't really know truly what this thing is doing. In any case, I just wanted to clean it up so it's clean, and we'll slide this back on a regulator, or excuse me, the not regulator, the heatsink. The heatsink is actually sandwiching both of these things down to the circuit board. Let me get a little pliers to help with this, getting it in the right place. That's it, like that. And I believe that can go on No, you know what? I got that backwards. That would make them a disaster. I did that. Okay. Good catch. This actually goes on in this direction because it would have touched the legs. That's what the problem was. So that's the way it really goes on. Screw goes down through the opening, the big opening here. Let me get it down in there. Through the hole on the circuit board and into a nut on the bottom. Tighten that up. Make sure everything is not touching nothing. And that's correct this time. Let me just hold this with the pliers. There we go. All right, so the heat sink for that regulator is back on. And we'll just take them out and blow these boards really closely, and then I'll be back. So, what I'm just doing is with a toothbrush and some alcohol. You see, I don't know if you can see in here, but there's a bit of rust that comes in there because this was sitting with a lot of water on it, and I don't want that to basically short to another component or nothing like that. So, see, like right in here. So we're gonna just make sure we wipe this thing pretty good on all these spots where I see this rust appearing. All right. So this one looks pretty good now. Again, there's still just a couple little small spots. That looks pretty good now. All right, back side looks all right. There was a little right here, but I cleaned that. And a quick brush over the thing. Now let's take a look at the other board. Same situation going on here. This has been blown out, but we'll just see it. Yeah, I don't know if you could see it in here. See right there? Good bit of rust right there. Rust is sort of down on the circuit board. I would imagine it's from the components leaching onto the circuit board. But we're gonna just make sure we get those areas cleaned up. And that's looking pretty good now. I don't really see anything. All the areas, and a little more there. Maybe right there could use a little more alcohol. And right there. I don't know if you saw that. But I don't want it leaking down, going underneath that cap and shorting something like that. So we're going to make sure this rust is clean from all these areas. All right. Check the other side, see that's over in here. A little bit of rust there. We'll just do that, brush it out. Some down here, here. And that's clean. That's now a clean board. So let's clear this off and then start putting it back together. All right, first thing assembly, we get the bottom board upside down like that. Put this little insulating cover plate on it. Line up my 4 screw holes like that. And let's put in some screws. Oops, wrong screwdriver there. All right, let's get them all started before tightening them. Alright, now we can just tighten them all down. Okay, we'll flip this baby over. And the next thing is this board. How it plugs into this board. You know, I forgot to check right here. Make sure these connectors are clean. These pins are all clean here. But you notice, see, they used gold pins. Very nice of the Dolby. So, we make these two things meet, just like that. Press down. Okay, and then we're going to install those special screws. Now, if you've seen that these screws, we looked at them before, what goes on here is it's threaded, it's hollow, and it's threaded so that it screws into here, and then one of those M3 screws screw into it. So it's kind of a neat little package the way they're doing it. Actually, those probably are not M3 because this is an American made. And they're probably 440 or 256. I think those are 256. In any case, screw these down just like that with the flat blade. All right, now we'll tighten these. Tight. All right, now with that done, our last thing is to place the cover on. The cover obviously has to go with our LEDs shining through the hole and the switch over here. All right, so it sort of slides on a little bit, just like that. There's the LEDs in there. Okay, where you can read the LEDs. Our switch is over here. And we can place that down here and put our final screws in. That's it. Let's tighten them all down. Quick wipe of the outside, and we are done with a module. And there you go, Dolby SR module, now done, ready to go back into the machine. Well, that's what's involved in doing that. And I got another 22 to go because I've already cleaned one before I started this video. So, with that said, I will be back when I get all these cards clean so I can get them in the machine. In this way, the machine is fully loaded in terms of its power supply is going to be fully loaded with all the cards that are actually came with this machine when it was brand new. So, I'd also like to point out, or also like to thank all you new people that have subscribed to the channel. Thank you very much. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Click on the bell for notifications. And I'll let you know when these cards are done and we're back doing this again. Thank you and see you then.